The minute she heard I spoke English, she picked up her pace and was putting distance between her and the two people that were flanking her. Within what was probably seconds, she was within 3 or 4 feet of me.
Amy Lynn Bradley was born on May 12, 1974 in Pittsburgh, Virginia, to parents Ron Bradley and Iva Bradley. Amy was so good at basketball that she received a scholarship to Longwood University, where she received a degree in physical education. She used to be a lifeguard, so her swimming abilities were also off the charts. Amy was super excited because she just found out that she received a job at a computer consultant firm. To celebrate, Amy and her family decided to go on a cruise ship.
Her father's employer is sending the family on a 7-day Caribbean cruise. Surprisingly, Amy is reluctant to join them.
She was a little apprehensive about the big boat thing.
On March 21st, 1998, the Bradley family boarded the ship and made their way to Curaçao. Amy and her brother Brad were super excited for Amy's new success, so they decided to dance late into the night at the Mardi Gras nightclub aboard the ship. The ship also has its own band that stays on the ship, and they perform all week long. The band's name was Blue Orchard. One of the band members' name was Alistair Douglas, but he also went by Yellow. He and Amy hit it off all night long. They were dancing and drinking together. This was later confirmed with a videographer named Chris Fenwick capturing the moment of the two of them dancing. Yellow said he left the nightclub around 1 o'clock in the morning, and Brad said that he headed back to the family's shared room at 3:35 a.m. The ship has its own computerized lock system, so it shows when the doors are open and closed. And it did confirm that Brad did come back at 3:35 a.m. and that Amy came back 5 minutes after her brother. So Amy returned at 3:40 a.m. Brad and Amy weren't tired yet, so they stayed outside on their ensuite balcony and they talked for a while. Brad got tired and so he went inside to go to sleep, while Amy stayed outside a little bit longer. On March 24th, Amy's father, Ron, woke up around 5:15, 5:30 in the morning just to make sure both of her kids made it home safely. He spotted Brad sleeping on the bed close by, passed out, and then he looked outside and saw Amy's feet, so he knew she was outside, passed out on the chair. Ron noted that he could see from her waist down and noted that the door was closed because if it had been open, he would have gotten up and closed the door. Ron was very happy to see that both of his kids made it back safely, so he dozed back off and woke up around 6 a.m. He looked back outside and noticed that his daughter wasn't outside anymore, and so he went out to go check to see if she was outside. She was no longer outside. Her cigarettes were missing and her lighter was missing. He checked the rest of the room and checked the bathroom. She wasn't there, so he decided to go upstairs and check for her. She was nowhere to be found.
Ron later said, "I left to try and go up to find her. When I couldn't find her, I didn't know what to think, because it was very unlike Amy to leave and not tell where she was going. After he searched all the areas that he would expect her to be and not have any luck in finding her, he woke up the rest of the family to tell them that Amy was missing and that he was worried."
Amy's family immediately went to the onboard crew and told them that Amy was missing. They were very worried about her and they didn't want the 2,000 passengers to leave the ship until they found Amy. And they also wanted them to let everybody know over the speaker that Amy was missing. The crew said it was too early to make the announcement, so they didn't make an announcement until 7:50 a.m. That was after the majority of the passengers had already left the ship. Between 12:15 p.m. and 1 o'clock p.m., the crew staff searched the entire ship in hopes to find Amy, but the search turned futile as there was no sign of Amy anywhere. That day, the Dutch Caribbean Coast Guard conducted a 4-day search of Amy, ending on March 27th. They used radar planes and 3 helicopters to assist them in finding Amy. The Royal Caribbean Lines even chartered a boat to assist in the Coast Guard in their searches. These searches did not lead to any finding. At the beginning of the case, local authorities assumed that Amy either fell off board or committed suicide. Those claims were quickly shot down because, like I said earlier, Amy was a fantastic swimmer. Not only that, but they also didn't find a body in the water. There was no crime scene, there was no blood, there was even no signs of foul play. At the time of the disappearance, Amy was described as being 5'7" and weighing 120 pounds. She had short brown hair and green eyes. She had a Tasmanian devil tattoo on her left shoulder blade, a Chinese symbol tattooed on her right ankle, and a green and blue gecko lizard tattooed around her belly button. She also had a belly button ring and multiple ear piercings. On the day of the disappearance, 2 passengers claimed that they seen Amy going upstairs on the elevator towards the deck with a lighter and cigarettes, but this was not proven true or false. Another witness was a cab driver, not confirmed by authorities, said that a woman matching Amy's disappearance came up to him and that she was urgently needing to borrow his phone. Sometime in August 1998, 5 months after Amy's disappearance, the man said he was walking along the beach on Curaçao and that he saw a woman looking identical to Amy, down to her tattoos, her description, everything. She was accompanied by 2 men.
The minute she heard I spoke English, she picked up her pace and was putting distance between her and the 2 people that were flanking her. Within what was probably seconds, she was within 3 or 4 feet of me.
According to Carmichael, just as the young woman was about to speak,
But at some point he lost track of her near a local cafe. He said at some point he was up to 2 feet away from her and that he was 100% sure that it was Amy. In January 1999, a U.S. Navy petty officer said that he was visiting a brothel in Curaçao, but one of the escorts claimed to be a missing Amy Bradley. He said that the woman told him that her name was Amy Bradley and begged him to help, and that she was being held there against her will and wasn't allowed to leave. The Navy officer did not report this incident to the local police because if he was found out to be at a brothel, he would have been discharged from the military. He told the family this information after he had been long retired from the Navy and had seen her picture in the magazines. There isn't any evidence to prove this claim true or false. I'm not sure if this is the same man, but also in 1999 in the fall, the Bradley family received an email from a man named Frank Jones who claimed to also be in the Navy. Frank was a Navy SEAL soldier and that he saw Amy with 100% certainty being held captive at a housing complex with barbed wire surrounding the whole place. It also had many men surrounded the place. Frank informed the family that with the help of his Navy colleagues, they would all be able to go rescue Amy. He provided details of when and where he saw Amy, down to her tattoos and even the lullaby that her mom used to sing her. He informed the family that he would be able to rescue her soon, but he needed $210,000 first to be able to set up the rescue. The Bradley family were so happy to hear the news that their daughter may be able to come home soon. So the family sent Frank the money, and then they waited. They were very happy and excited and just hoping that they would meet their daughter soon. The phone call never came and the family realized that they were scammed out of money. Frank Jones ended up admitting that he did make up this whole story to extort money from the family. And in 2002, federal prosecutors found him guilty of frauding the Bradley family out of $24,000 and National Missing Children Organization out of $186,000. Frank Jones pled guilty and only received 5 years in federal prison. Another potential sighting happened in 2005 when a woman named Judy Maurer said that she saw a woman looking exactly like Amy in a department store in Barbados. Judy stated that she was in the woman's restroom when the woman entered and that 3 men were following closely behind her. They were threatening her, claiming that she needed to continue through with some deal. She didn't know what the deal was, but they were threatening her. Once Judy was alone with this woman, she walked over to the distraught woman to see if she was okay. This woman claimed that her name was Amy and that she was from Virginia. Right after that, the 3 men came back in and took her out. So I don't know if they were listening through the door. Judy called the authorities to file a police report, and with her help, they created a composite sketch of the woman and the 3 men that accompanied her. Amy's mother and father was on a Dr. Phil episode on November 17th, 2005. On the show, they showed a picture that had been emailed to the family of a woman believed to be Amy. The image suggested that she may have been sold into sexual slavery.
Could these possibly be Amy? Heavy makeup, kind of wild hair. My sister, the artist, first thing she does is she takes the picture. She said, "Squint your eyes at that picture and see what you see." And Beth, when I squinted, it was like, it just shocked me. It was just Amy.
At this point in time, there are no more leads, but there are a lot of theories that are surrounding this case. One of the first theories is that one of the nights when all the family were out having dinner, one of the waiters kept approaching the table and kept attempting to give Amy a note. Once she got the note was inviting her to go out drinking with him once they reached shore. The second theory is that there was an onboard photographer and that he was taking photos all throughout the cruise of everybody, not just a couple people, but he visited everybody. So at the end of the cruise, he was selling his work. The family was curious and looked through all the photos to see if they could see Amy or any clues, but they didn't see Amy in any single photo. So they kind of just assumed that maybe somebody was behind it and deleted all of the photos. The third one is that there are multiple witnesses stating that she might have been sold into sex work. So they do think that might have been the most probable cause. This is the most backed up theory, and that she is being held captive against her will. The fourth theory is that maybe she was murdered and thrown overboard. The only evidence supporting this theory is that a jawbone that had been washed up on the shore of Aruba. The jawbone's DNA hasn't been confirmed as a match though. The fifth and final theory, which had been thought all along, is that maybe Amy fell overboard or committed suicide. But there isn't any evidence backing this up, like we stated earlier, but there isn't any more leads out there. And
I miss her when I'm washing dishes, when I'm taking a shower, when I'm working. She's my heart. She's absolutely my heart. She knows that we love her and that we will fight until the day we die to find her.
Amy Lynn Bradley was officially declared dead on March 24th, 2010. 12 years after the disappearance and no confirmable witnesses, nor there being a body found. I do want to say that there is a $250,000 reward offered for her safe return, and then also a $50,000 reward for information leading to her verifiable location. And if you have any tips or any information to share, please call 804-276-2204. Any tips help find Amy, and it would be very nice for her family to finally have any type of closure. Of course, we would all love to see her come home safely. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you have any recommendations or want me to cover any story, you can leave it in the comments down below. If you have a friend or loved one who's gone missing and want their story out there, please send me the details and I will go over it in the next video. I hope you all have a great day and please stay safe.